Morning everybody, and happy Jubilee and all that if you're into it. I'm not particularly, but I have chosen myself a different breakfast, not particularly a healthy one, but also a very challenging one for me. I struggle with bread buns, I struggle with icing, I struggle with things I shouldn't have, but I'm just going to get on with it and get through it. I hope the sound is okay. I've got the microphone earphones in again, but please let me know if it's not. Again, I will sort something else out. I'm determined to get it right. I suppose I better start with the MRI brain and spine, which I had yesterday, which was quite an unusual bank holiday activity, I guess. I've got a picture I might put up later, but you don't usually look your best in your hospital gown and so on. As a reminder, the reason I was having it was because after 6 admissions with suspected Wernicke's related to my anorexia, I saw a very experienced neurologist who looked at my MRI scans from previously, did a neurological examination, and strongly suspected that the actual problem was multiple sclerosis, which, as you can imagine, came as a huge shock, and isn't something easily fixable. I've been having a sort of bad day in terms, or bad day or two in terms of symptoms. This is usually when they would send me in. I've been struggling with double vision and some slurring of my words, or as my team often point out, they pick up on me deliberately trying not to slur my words, which I suppose they've got very, very used to the symptoms. So yeah, that was an experience. That was over an hour in a tunnel with a lot of noise. I could start to feel myself hyperventilating by the end. I've had MRIs before, but this one was particularly difficult because of how far you went into the tunnel and how long it went on for, and also with autism sensory issues, it was particularly difficult. And the noises are very weird, very strange. They, some of them are like vibrations that go through your body. Other ones are like ringing, and I can't explain to you how it works. I mean, we learnt it at medical school, but I always struggled. I would have to relearn that to give you a fair explanation as to how an MRI works. But what I do know is when it comes to the brain and the spine, it gives a more detailed picture than a CT scan. My brain already showed what they were looking for, so white matter lesions. So they'll be looking for more of those in different places, potentially in my spine. My neurologist had found signs of what they call optic atrophy, or wasting of the optic nerves, so that would confirm that as well. So that was the doom and gloom of the week. I've been trying to distract myself. I'm part of an autistic doctors group. I can't go too much into what we've been doing, but we've been doing some work around autism and eating disorders to try and make sure that is covered adequately within guidelines. And when I say within guidelines, I'm not talking about the newly released Mead guidelines, which I think are C233 if you want to have a look at them. They are great guidelines from an anorexia perspective in terms of risk, and they're great for carers, patients and all members of staff, and are long overdue. That's not something we've been working on. As a 200-page document, you can't fit much in about autism and eating disorders, so we have been discussing about how we might go about ensuring that that is covered in other documents in other ways, and making sure everybody is aware. What I would still encourage is, if you ever get admitted to hospital or a SEDU, make sure you take an autism passport if you're autistic, and there you can write your triggers, you can write what is difficult for you, you can write your needs regarding carers, and a lot of SEDUs are now becoming much more aware. I think it has become, since the Oliver case, a mandatory thing that all staff of all specialities and grades are trained in autism. So yeah, I would encourage that, and you can find that passport on the Autism Society website, and you just need to print it out and fill it in and have it there. Make a photocopy. Obviously don't give them the original copy because you might not get it back. Give them a photocopy and update it when you need to. I've been going on for ages about a question and answer session, but I don't want to tread on anyone's toes. I understand that's something Fee has offered recently, so I think I will either delay it further or try and mix it up a bit and do a question and answer session where I ask you questions too. If I can work out how to do that, perhaps through polls on the story aspect of Instagram. We'll see what we can do. I think if you've got any suggestions on what we should do, whether we should do that sooner, later, change how we do it, please write them in the comments. I will be going away soon. I don't give yes, that's Lottie, my noisy border terrier. Yeah. Do you want to come up? She always wants to come up, but then she's going to eat my breakfast, so it's a risk. And she weighs a ton. Yeah, I will be going away soon. I don't give dates because someone once informed me that's how you get. No, don't lick my breakfast. Someone once informed me that's how you get burgled. So I'm just trying to keep my phone up, it's falling. Not helped by Lottie pulling on the cable. Right. So no. I think we better leave it there before I lose my breakfast. But please, yeah, any ideas, any questions now? When might be a good time to do a question and answer session? How might be a good way to do it, whether we do it through YouTube or the story section of Instagram, so that I can also ask you questions. I'm always intrigued by other people's experiences, and it's interesting sometimes to do polls and see what the common experience is. But then also a way of you being able to comment. So I'd just love to involve you. Yeah. So, and if anyone has any private questions that they want to ask me, my DMs are always open, and I do my best to answer them. So I don't think there's much more to report from this week. It's been a difficult week, a lot of meltdowns. I feel terrible for, sometimes just taking things out on mum verbally, just, snappy. And it's just because I'm so anxious. And we've had a lot of trouble with aspects of trying to coordinate care as well. My CMHT has been brilliant, but because I'm out of area communication with my GP, it's sometimes been hard. But I'll leave you there. I'll probably write another killer's quote, because I love them and they keep me going. They always have something relevant to my life, and they've been with me for a long, long time. And I'm still buzzing off that concert, so I'll write something perhaps at the end. Hopefully some of you can relate to it. So thanks for listening again. I've gone over again. Please feel free to pause and watch in chunks. And speak